Now we are going to work on our add item function. So we'll say def add item ate add item, right? And in that we are going to pass self into it. Now what we can do is we can initialize x is equal to 1 because we can't multiply and divide it with 0, right? Now we will say self dot help is equal to empty string to store on the calculated total price. Now what we are going to do is we are going to fetch our prices. So we will say self dot n is equal to self dot prices. So pri prices dot get, right? And then we will say self dot m is equal to self dot quantity dot get, right? So here we are going to fetch the quantity, right? Now we are going to multiply it with n, self dot n. So what we have done is we have calculated the total price by multiplying the price of a particular single product with the quantity of that product, right? Now we can say self dot l dot append, and we are going to pass the a double p and append, and then we are going to pass self dot m. So our total price into self dot l, right? And then self dot m. Now we will say now let's say self dot l. Sorry, we have completed. Now what we have to do is we have to check if the product means if the user is directly clicking the button without entering any detail. So for that we will just say if self dot product dot get is equal to null, right? So if it's null, then we will pop up a message that please select the product name, right? So we will just say message box dot show error. In that we will just say error, and then we will say please select the product name, right? Or else you can say at least select one product. Okay. Else we are going to say that we are going to pass each and every details into our UI. So for that we need to pass all the quantity and total and the product name into our text area, right? So for that what we're going to do is here what I have done is I have inserted the product, means we are fetching our product quantity and self.m. Self.m is nothing but our total price over here, right? So all the things we are just pushing it to our text area over here, right? And then we are calculating subtotal using a formula that I have made, and then text input. What we are doing is we are setting our widget to this value, right? So that we can alter it, we can just set it. So now we are going to set our text input also to whatever text we have calculated, and this variable we have used it over here to divide, right, and multiply to. Now we have set our total price, which is calculated by multiplying and dividing the you know everything. variables. So our add item function is done. So let's just hope it works. Okay, now we can just go here. We can say command. We will say command produce self dot add item. Right. So now let's run it and see how it goes. So there is a value over here. Okay. So yes. Now let's run it. Now if we will say directly add item, so there is error that at least select one product. Now I'm going to select our product and then add everything like I want raw. Okay, and three quantities. Then we will say add. So over here you can see we have added our product name, product quantity, and our total price, subtotal price. And over here we have our total including our government tax, right? So we have done to calculate the text and displaying it in our text area. Now we need to generate the bill after every details is added into text area, right? Now to generate the bill, we will say def gen underscore bill, meaning that we are going to pass self. Now we will see that if a product is selected or not. The same logic we have applied over here, right? So we just say if product dot get equal to null, then it could show us an error, the same error we are going to show over here, right? Else we will say else we are going to make our text variable txt text is equal to self text area. In that we are going to say get. So we'll just say dot get, right? So what we are doing, we are getting all the data, means we are copying some portion of data from our text area into text variable, right? So what portion do we need, right? So we'll say 11 dot 0 comma bracket 11 dot 0 plus float of length of self length sorry of self dot l, right? So what this will do is it will copy the data from 11th line from index number 0 to 11th line of index number till self.l. So what is our self.l over here? It is our self.l means the total price that we have calculated the last. So let me show you how it works. So I'll run it. Okay, so there is an error. So let me just let me run it. So I'll just say okay. So here you can see we can select our option and make a thing. I will add this product to a cart, right? So what this will do is it will just add it over here, right? So now what I want is I have to copy this whole thing and I will click generate bill. It has to say the subtotal over here and text over here. Means what we are copying is we are just copying this much portion, right? So I'll just say so this line copies the small part of the portion that includes our all these things product quantity and the total price, right? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add all the data of subtotal, text amount, and total. For that, before that we need to call our self dot welcome function, right? So that the whole text area gets cleared and again it gives us an empty area, right? Now what we want is, so I have said that insert our text with everything that we store in this variable into our text area, right? So these lines insert the text that is present in our text area that we have copied from over here. So what this will actually copy is, it will just copy the, sorry, is an error, text not defined. Okay, let me see, txt. Okay, so I'll run it again, saving it and run it. Okay, so here you can see that if I will just say product, and then I will add to cart, then if I just generate bill, it will just copy these two lines, right? The text variable will copy these two lines and store it inside itself, right? And then we are going to add that data into our text area. Now we are going to to make our bill looking fancy, we are going to make a line with equal to, and then we are going to add a sub amount of subtotal amount, uh, subtotal.get. We are going to fetch our data over here, and then text amount and getting our text input over here, and then total amount and getting our total amount over here, right? So generate bill is done. So let's run it. Sorry. Okay, now I'll just say strings penta and then to part and say generate. So it's not working. Let's see what happened over here, right? Okay, so we haven't added anything over here, right? So I will just copy it and just go over here. I think yes. Now I'll just say generate b, right? And then well, now if I just say rings penta to penta and edit and say generate b, so here you can see we have generated our amount. So here you can see we are getting some error kind of thing, like we have added two products and we are not able to calculate the text. So let's see what happened over here. So we are not able to calculate text. So here is the problem. So the text is equal to 1. Here is self total. Okay. It's we are setting it over here, but we are printing it over here, right? We'll just say get. So whatever we set over here, we are going to get it over here. Okay. So we are going to use this self total in this function also over here, right? So we have to make it a universal. So just copy it. Sorry. We'll just say j underscore b, then copy this thing, control C. Okay, and then we go from here. Nice. Let's run it again. Add product and footy. Potential generate b. Okay, so you can see our text is calculated, our total is also calculated, right? So now our generate bill function is ready. Our save bill function. So for that we will say def save underscore bill, and in that we are going to pass self, right? And then again, sorry, then again we are going to use the same logic if there is no product selected. Okay, no, we don't need over here, right? Because the already we have generated this bill, so we are just going to save it. For that we will just say op is equal to message box, sorry, message box dot ask yes or no, so that we can say, or we can ask our user to confirm that if they are willing to save their bill or not. So you just say save bill. In that we are going to say, do you want to save the bill, right? Then a question mark. Now okay, drag it over here. and the bracket over here. Okay, so we'll say if OP is equal to 0, means OP is greater than 0, you can say that we will say self dot p underscore data. We are going to make this variable is equal to self dot text area dot get, and we are going to get everything. So I will just say 1 plus 0 till end, right? So I am going to start with the first line, the 0 index, and till the end of the file. So we are going to basically fetch all the data present in our text area. Now I will say if, sorry, f1 is equal to open, open. I'm going to open a file. So I'll just say builds backslash plus string of, we are going to say self dot get, sorry, so string of self dot build number. Okay, so we'll just say build number, build underscore number, build underscore number dot get, right? Okay, self build number dot get, and then we're going to say plus dot txt comma in our writing mode, right? We're going to close the bracket. So what this line will do is it will just open the location that is our builds folder. In that the file name will be our build number. So we are just going to fetch it and storing it as a string, so that it says the build number. For example, it's 12345. Then it will say 12345 the text and open it in write mode, right? Now we are going to write in it. So we'll just say f1 is equal to write, and we are going to pass our build data into it. So we'll just say self dot build data, build data, WRITE. Now what we can do is we can say OP is equal to message, message box dot show info. So we are going to just show that your bill is saved. So just say show info, and we'll say save, right? And we are going to use f string to print our number into message box, the number. So just say bill number, bill number, and string self dot bill underscore get number dot get, and then say saved successfully, right? Save successfully. Successful. So I just close this bracket over here. Nice. I think it's pretty much done, and we're going to just close our file that we have opened, right? F1 dot close. Nice. So we're getting an error over here. It's just that we have to import our file library, right? Over here, uh, there is an error. So it's just that we have set equal to. We'll just say dot. Okay. So we'll just Control S, and sorry, we have to just keep it over here. Indentation errors. So nice. And let's see. So we need over here. Like still showing errors. So we just said I don't get it. Okay, nice. So it's done. Now I'll just run it. I will create a bill, rings, penta, and these all things. I'll just say name anything or contact number anything or email anything. Right? I'll just say advocate, 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 then say generate bill. So you can see that we have generated our bill. Now what we are doing, we are saving it. So I'll just say save, and it's not working because we didn't command our button to do save. So I'll just copy it, paste it over here, and say save the. Nice. I'll run it again and say bot anything bot the red gmail and say product. Nice. We are going to edit, generate it, and save it. So here you can see it is asking, do you want to save the bill? I'll say yes. And bill number 1243 saved successfully. So it will be saved over here in our folder, bills folder 1234. Over here you can see our bill, right? So it's just that we need to, add some slash n and slash t to make our bill look beautiful. I'll just close it